I got a problem in my bathroom, guys. I should have reworded that. I got a problem. I need a woodworker in my bathroom. No, that doesn't sound good. I got a problem. Let me just show you what the problem is. I only have one hand towel holder in my bathroom. On my side, I got nothing. Not even a medicine cabinet. So my wife let me hang this picture because she felt bad for me. On top of that, the whole bathroom only has one towel bar. There it is. Oh, sorry, my underwear is still up there. And usually it's like that, jammed with both of our towels. So today I'm gonna build something to fix this. Let's get to building. So for this project, you're only gonna need 120 inches of 1x3. I used some standard whitewood I got from Lowe's. Cut off the factory edge because it's drier than a KFC biscuit. You're gonna cut your first 2 boards at 34 inches. Wow, the camera really does add 100 pounds. Then you're gonna cut 4 boards at 9.5 inches. Now I set up a stop block so I can make sure each one of my pieces were exactly 9.5 inches, but you could do yours all willy-nilly if you want. Then readjust your stop block and cut 7 more pieces at 2 inches. Not to brag, but for some reason I can estimate 2 inches without a tape measure very easily. Okay, that's it for the cutting phase. Now it's time for sanding. The part everybody hates, but is probably, in my opinion, one of the most important parts if you want to have a good finish. And before you ask, no, that is not a pregnant woman with hairy arms sanding. That is moi. That's me. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how to hang these on the wall. And I'll show you what I came up with. If anybody has a better idea, drop it in the comments. What I did was... Rusty! Rusty, get out of there! Shh! Get out of there! So what I came up with was a keyhole fastener. I didn't really come up with it. That's what they've been using online. But I can't think of another way to do this and have a clean look and still have it sit flush to the wall. Let me know. Every other fastener I found won't let it sit flush to the back of the wall. It's gonna stick out some. They have the Z hooks, they have all that other stuff. I just couldn't figure it out. But if you do, if you have an idea, drop it in the comments. I would love to learn a new way to do this. But I'll show you how I'm gonna install these keyhole fasteners. Okay, there's different styles of keyhole hangers that you can buy. These are the 2 most common. The problem with this oval one is there's really no easy way to recess this into the wood. I'm gonna use this round one. The round one, all I need is a 3/4 inch Forstner bit and I can recess this. But then I have to also drill a hole here to recess so the screw can get in there. Before I install my keyhole hangers, I need to inspect my wood to see which one's the best looking face for the front. First, I'm marking the center of my board. Then I'm marking in 1.5 inches from the end. Then using a 1-inch Forstner bit, I'm drilling just deep enough to recess the keyhole hanger. It's about the thickness of a 1/4. Then use a pencil and trace out the keyhole and the screws so you know where they're at when you drill them. Then just use a drill bit that's the same width as the thicker part of the keyhole and drill out both sides, top and bottom. Then just double check your screw head, make sure it slides in easily and goes all the way to the top. Then just put in your 2 screws and bam! Job well done. Now grab the back of the large towel holder and set up 3 of your 2-inch blocks just like this. Then I'm going to clamp the back board and one of the 2-inch blocks to my bench so I can pre-drill it and then put a screw into it. We're only using screws in the back because it doesn't matter, you're not going to see it. This is the side that's going to be against the wall anyways. I really think you guys are going to like the black stain I chose. Then just flip your board and repeat that whole process on the other side. I said we were pre-drilling the holes, but I should have said we're also countersinking them. Then grab your tape measure and mark the center of your board, which if you did it 34 inches, should be 17 inches. I'm using a speed square just to make sure the center block comes out square. Then install your last 2-inch block dead center. Now we're going to flip it over and install the front board. Make sure you double check it and you're putting your best face forward. Now for the front, I'm just using glue and pin nails. Now if you don't have a pin nailer, you could always use finished nails and a hammer. Now you just need to repeat that whole process all over again for the small hand towel holders. The only thing I did different was I pin nailed the whole thing. Now I'm using a Minwax True Black stain so they match the rest of my hardware because it's all black. This stain covers really well and it doesn't usually come out too blotchy. It's like using Sharpie ink. When you first put it on, it like completely blacks out the wood. You can't even see the grain, but as it dries, it lightens.
There's actually a spot. Right.
Oh, right there. Yeah, that's underneath.
Oh, that's gonna be on the bottom?
Yeah. Already got it planned out.
And then obviously you just repeat that staining process on the other ones, unless you want different colors. I don't know what kind of circus you're living in, but I'm making mine match. Okay, so I let my pieces dry for a few days, and I'm going to use this spar urethane. Now the true black stain, it bleeds a lot. So every time you're using, especially with this water-based clear coat, so every time you go over it, it leaves a little black on the brush. And then if you dip that in your can, it'll ruin your whole can. So I always steal my wife's turkey baster. I couldn't find it. She hid it on me. So I'm using this syringe that I bought on Amazon. And then I'm just taking a little bit out at a time and putting it into a separate container. The reason I chose the spar urethane is because it's water resistant. And if you're going to be putting wet towels on here, you're going to want something water resistant. Another tip is whenever I do small edges like this, I use a stiff foam brush because the bristles will wrap the edges and it'll ruin the finish on the front and the back of that little edge. Before we get to the install, people have been asking me how they can purchase the plans for the stuff I build, and I just want you to know I'm practicing my plan drawing skills and I should have these for sale soon. Okay, it's install time. Well, I actually have to take off the old stuff first. This is how loose the builder installed most of the stuff in my house. Now, my wife bought me this thing because I'm always hanging pictures for her here, take it down, move it over here, hang it again, take it down, #blessed. And this is supposed to help you hang stuff easier. She got it off Amazon. What you do is if you didn't notice, I put it in the keyhole and then I lock it up and then turn the knob. The knob's a little janky and it doesn't hold very strongly. See how it kept moving on me. So you really got to crank down on it. And it's just plastic, so it feels like it's going to crack on you. But it actually did a pretty good job. I didn't need any drywall anchors because one thing the builders did right was give me some backing right here. So I just used some screws and hung the thing on the wall. If you get your screw lengths just right in the keyhole hangers, all you got to do is give it a little tap and it'll wedge it against the wall and you're good to go. The first long one went so easy, I got cocky and lazy with the second one. I just kind of held it against the wall and marked where the screws should go. But as you'll see, that did not work out too good for me. I fumbled with this thing for about 10 minutes trying to get this thing to go on here. Adjusting the screw, nothing helped. I just love judging past me because the new me, the more experienced me, would never do anything like this. Here's where I finally said, you know what, let me look. Maybe I got the holes wrong. I've done stuff wrong before. That one time back in '85. Maybe I did it again. So to make a long story short, after moving the screws about 3 times each, I finally got it right. My side did not have backing, so I had to use drywall anchors. And I learned from my mistakes on the other side, and this side I got the holes just right. But there was another problem. I couldn't figure out why this side was so loose. So after a few minutes, I decided, hey, let me look at this anchor and see what's going on here. And I was kind of surprised. Out here in the desert where your garage gets up to 120, 130 in the summer, it turns plastic to brittle garbage. My whole box of drywall anchors were just disintegrating when I tried to put a screw into them. So I got new drywall anchors and hung it, and look at that, dead peanuts. All right, so all that's left now is to hang some towels on them. Luckily for me, my wife taught me exactly how you hang a hand towel. #blessed. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Quabam! Another problem solved with the power of woodworking.